Minnesota's heartland is being crushed by this migration crisis. It's a tragedy. Let's break it down.
Add up to. Why are they engaged in all this? What is their objective here? It's the Somalification of America. In other words, when you see the state of Somalia, that's what they want for America at the end of the day, because it's easier to rule over an empire of ashes than it is for the Democratic Party to rule over a functioning, Western, high-trust society with a strong middle class. Look how powerful the Democrat Party became in Minnesota once they flooded it with 100,000 Somalians. Once the elections were decided, right, by clan rivalries and ethnic feuds. Once that happened, the Democrat Party became permanently powerful in Minnesota. They became permanently powerful in the Twin Cities. That's their model for America, to make the whole country into a version of Somalia. And everything they do gets down to that. So when you ask me what I'm thankful for, this Thanksgiving, I praise God every day that Donald Trump is our president, and we've gone from 30% inflation, 20 million illegals, unlimited refugees.
The people pulling the strings? They aren't doing this because they're compassionate. Give me a break. It's about power, pure, permanent political control. They're bringing in thousands of people from cultures defined by clan warfare and constant chaos because they want to plant those same seeds of division right here in our backyard. It's the oldest trick in the book. If you want to rule a population, you have to break them apart first. You kill the trust between neighbors until the only thing left to lean on is the government. They're squeezing the life out of the middle class while the elites stay on top, fueled by dependency and a fresh batch of voters they've imported to keep them in office. This isn't a mistake. It's a blueprint for an empire built on the wreckage of everything we used to value. This isn't just about the social fabric. It's about your wallet. Minnesota's been hit by a massive fraud ring that's bled billions out of the taxpayers. Think about that. Money meant to feed hungry kids was siphoned off by networks who cared more about their own pockets than the public good. The feds found a whole web of lies, dozens of people moving public cash into private bank accounts, while the people who actually needed help got nothing. That's what happens when you throw the doors open and stop checking who's coming in. The scale of this theft is a total embarrassment for the bureaucrats in charge. It proves that when you lose oversight and ditch our shared culture, the vultures will pick the bones of our generosity clean. They see our kindness as a weakness, and they're laughing all the way to the bank. Now that the truth's coming out, how's the establishment reacting? Exactly how you'd expect. They aren't fixing the broken system or apologizing for the betrayal. No, they're attacking the people who actually enforce the law. They're painting the agents who protect our borders and get criminals off our streets as the bad guys. It's a total flip of reality, and it's meant to do one thing: shut you up. They want to keep the migration flowing, no questions asked. The talk coming out of Washington is completely disconnected from what you see when you walk down the street. If you dare to point out the obvious, they'll call you every name in the book. But you aren't falling for the smoke and mirrors anymore. You see a government that puts foreign nationals ahead of its own citizens and treats our borders like a nuisance. Sitting back and watching isn't an option anymore. People are waking up, and there's a movement building to take our sovereignty back. From the Twin Cities suburbs to the furthest rural corners of the Midwest, folks are demanding answers. They're calling for an end to these fraud networks and a return to an immigration policy that actually puts Americans first for a change. This isn't about hate, it's about survival. You can't keep a country running if you keep importing the exact same instability you say you're trying to solve. The roar for border integrity is getting louder every single day because people realize where this road ends: decay. We've got a choice to make: Do we want a future of law and order, or do we want our cities turned into fractured territories run by a permanent class of bureaucrats? What's happening in Minnesota is just a preview of the fight for the whole country. It's a test. Do we actually care about the rule of law? If we let our institutions get gutted by imported chaos and financial scams, we're failing our kids and grandkids. But there is a way out. It starts with real enforcement, a focus on our culture, and a border that actually means something. The lights are finally turning on, and the shadows of this social experiment are disappearing. Americans are ready to bring back the order that's been tossed aside. This is the moment. Are we going to stay a sovereign people, or are we going to let our heritage be sold off for a cheap political win? The choice is ours, and we're running out of time. Ending.
This report is complete, but the fight is just beginning. Subscribe now to stand with us.